Hello ladies and gentlemen, Baltmatrix here, and today we are going to be taking a look at X-Emperor, Kaitou Sentai, Lupinranger versus Patranger. I picked this whole set up at HobbyLink Japan. It is the Deluxe X-Changer box, or Deluxe X-Changer box set, and it comes in a box that looks like this. It's actually not that big. There are 4 different trains in the box: X-Train Gold, X-Train Silver, X-Train Thunder, and X-Train Fire. All of these are needed to make the X-Emperor sets, X-Emperor Slash and X-Emperor Gunner. And then the final combined form, which we'll get into in a little bit. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, take a quick look at each one of these guys and listen to their sound gimmick with the gun. X-Train Fire is a cute little bullet train. I think it works. Unfortunately, the dial on the top does not work, and it has these flip-out cannons that flip out to the front of the train, and I don't know, they work. They're okay. Let's hear what it sounds like on the gun. Next, we're going to take a quick look at Thunder, and it is definitely beefier and meant for a lot more freight than Fire was. It has this flip-out little... That's supposed to be a fist, I think. I think that is supposed to be for punching. Either that or that is the weirdest cattle chute I have ever seen. Alright, let's see what it looks like, or sounds like, on the gun as well. Fire and Thunder are a little bit strange because when you put them onto Lupinranger or Patranger, they just look way out of place. They feel so much bigger than the other arms that they just don't work well. And I especially think they look worse on Lupinranger. And yes, I realize I didn't do the shins right for either one of them, but who cares at this point? They're just too big. They are just way too big, too gaudy. Alright, next up we're going to take a look at X-Train Silver. And this will make up part of the body of X-Emperor, and it is a bullet train. It's well molded, and it works pretty well, I think. Unfortunately, neither gold nor silver can attach, even though in the show, they show that they do. Unfortunately, the coupling doesn't work at all. I'll show you here in a second. I think silver as a bullet train works fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just looks... Well, it looks mighty small when you compare it to gold. And there's gold. Gold is ridiculous. And it's also kind of unwieldy. It has a tendency to have parts fall off, specifically its smokestack up here, and the overall look of the thing is bad. It's just bad. Trains should not have giant gaping holes in their backs. They just shouldn't. And here, you can see that the giant Gatling gun that's used in gunner form just sticks off the back of the vehicle mode. It's ugly. Plain and simple. I do respect the train modeling, though. In the front, though, you could see the Lupinranger dial there, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't move. It can't move. It's just dumb. Okay, so you can pull the fronts off both silver and gold and put them on the gun. So we're going to do that. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that I have not pulled the battery tab out yet. Well, I'm going to do that right now for you. And then we're going to combine them up into the changer gun mode. So to start off with, we're going to take gold, take the rear of the vehicle mode and turn it 180 degrees along its ratchet axis. Then come to the back and try not to hit the button. And there's... Shut up! There is a button back here that allows you to ratchet the gun down. And then you turn the whole set 180 degrees. Shh! Quiet! And then with the gold pointing towards the back, we peg the rear of silver in, and then the front, and this is the gun. Here we go. We have the gun mode, which I think the handle should be more like this, straight down than an angle, but that's just me. And yeah, it's noisy. Every time you touch the trigger or move this, it makes noise. So here's the look from the front. That's bad. Pull the trigger, and it shoots. Now, as a toy, this is just silly. As an actual weapon, it's absolutely abysmal because there is so much weight hanging off the side, not above your wrist, that if this had any kind of kickback, it wouldn't just be that along your forearm. It would be twisting you, creating a fulcrum point at your hand and your wrist, and you'd hurt yourself. Okay, gun lesson over. So, to turn it into the other mode, you just tap the button lightly, which you don't want to do. Grab the entire top. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now you've got a weapon that is ridiculously heavy in the other direction, but at least the barrel is straight with the rest of your forearm. I'm sorry, this is just ridiculous. This is incredibly stupid and ridiculous. It's kind of neat, I'm not gonna lie, but as a weapon, it's... Man, I just want a gun sword. Give me a gun that turns into a sword, not a gun that turns into trains. Alright, rant over. Let's move on to the combination. As I stated earlier, there's no way to combine these two front or back because of the way the pegs are, and that is a huge shame. I really wish you were able to do that. Now, Fire and Thunder are meant to peg into gold and silver. Thunder is actually supposed to go on the back of silver, like that. And if I'm honest, that looks ridiculous. And then Fire is supposed to go on the back of gold, like this. And again, that is ridiculous. Now then, let's go ahead and get them combined up. And they do actually combine exactly as they show in the show. You need to have gold coming down. If the toy is in front of you, the front of gold comes down to your right, and then silver will come in and connect and slide into place. Did you hear that click? Like that. Now that we've got them combined in the center, you form a giant X, turn it so that the gold and thunder are facing towards the ground, come to gold and pull off this smokestack, then collapse the X a little bit, flip down the front of thunder and flip up the toes, and do the same for gold, and then that's the feet. Take the cannon here, rotate it to the side, one click over to expose the X, fold down the silver arms, and then turn the figure around, and there are clips back there. That's where this smokestack comes into play. So flip down the black part on the smokestack, or the part that looks, like it's supposed to pig in somewhere, and we have the head. And then those clip in right there to the back. And we have X-Emperor Slash. From bottom to top, X-Emperor Slash doesn't look too bad, especially when he's transformed correctly, which I just had to correct the shoulder. From the front, it looks absolutely fine. The face sculpt is that of a knight. I'm glad that they kind of molded irises in there, but the head is real dumb because if you just turn it over a little bit, there's another head sticking up at the top. Yeah, it's strange, especially when you do a 360 of the figure. It's thick, we'll say. It's real thick. The giant gun is incredibly stupid. It gets in the way, and it doesn't look all that good either. Though I do have to say, I think the coloring works really well. The gold legs coming up into the silver top work incredibly well. And except for the giant sash cannon, it doesn't look too bad, especially for a Super Sentai figure. There is a little bit of posability in the shoulders, which you're supposed to flip out these wings on the sides, which I forgot to do. And there's the typical Super Sentai posability of just one click, and that's it. I will freely admit one stupid thing I forgot to do is supposed to flip that face around so it's not visible from the top of the head. That was just me being dumb. Now for some added play value, you can add the planes to him, and then you can also add the black planes with the scissor unit onto the back. And I actually think this is a pretty neat look, or a neat addition. You could do the same thing with the crane and the cars. Unfortunately, I don't have the crane, but more on that later. Overall, though, I like this look a little bit better. I think the arms are a little bit better proportioned, but that's just me. But with the planes attached, it's obvious that Lupin Kaiser never misses arm day. So what about gunner mode? Well, I'm glad you asked. And just like in the show, he really does kind of cartwheel over, but first you have to remove the head, then you can flip this over to reveal the new head, and fold it down until we, combine it up. Now, for that, we are going to straighten out Fire and Silver, fold those up, fold the fronts up for toes, and of course, actually do it correctly, and then straighten them out, and cartwheel them over. And then do the same thing that we were doing earlier where we straighten out the legs a little bit. Take the gun, fold it over, fold it forward, and then straighten out the arms. Ah, shoot. It has a tendency to fall apart on you. And attach the component to the back. Like that. Oh, and flip out these little shoulder pads of guns and stuff. Starting at the feet and working our way up, I like the coloring. I think the silver on the bottom and the gold on the top work really well. But man, oh man, are the proportions off. There's literally nothing in his, the top of his chest. There's just a gaping hole right there. And I'm not sure if that's me forming it up wrong. And his head is gigantic. I mean, his head is literally bigger than a Prime armor. That's just so weird. And its arms are just strange. And then it's got a giant minigun hanging off of its gut. It's just weird. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is definitely weird. And it's also not turning my turntable for some reason. I mean, look at how big that is sticking off there. Now you can put the cars on him, green and pink, and we'll do that here in a minute. And then you could put the crane on the back, or attach the crane to the back. Unfortunately, I don't own the crane. I never bothered to pick it up. I don't know. I like Slash better. Gunner, works, and more on that face in a minute. But I see what they're going for. I just don't like the proportions. It looks better on the show. Now, oddly, with pink and green, I think it works better. The coloring's off, not gonna lie there, but I think the proportions work better. Except for the part where, green can't lift its arm, and neither could gold. But it can do that. It could swing around. I mean, that works, but it can't actually, move the arm forward without moving the gun. I don't know, this is... Gunner's not great. Slash is much better, at least in my opinion. Now, oddly, the giant arms on Pat Kaiser, I think, work. Especially considering the face. I don't know why. This just looks like, I don't know, a really beefy, burly Decepticon. Actually, you know what? It reminds me of Stockade from the original 2007 Transformers Allspark movie toy line. That's who it reminds me of. That beefy gorilla Decepticon. Yep, I kind of dig this. Alright, I have now returned everything to their vehicle modes, and now we're going to combine everything together. Got tie! Let's start with the Good Striker. We're going to kind of half change it into its robot form, keeping the red down, flipping the link up, fold up the connector, and then flip out the wings, and then just leave it alone for a minute. Put that off to the side. And then get Thunder and Fire, and these will connect to the feet. So they just plop right in and connect with these flip-up connectors on both of them. And I'll get into these in once we're done, because I've got some words about these connectors. Oh, boy, do I have some opinions about these. Well, not only are they a pain to get connected, once you get them connected, hold on to them and then stand the figure up like that, and then turn them to the side. Now, we'll take the smokestack that we were talking about on gold. Take it and flip it down like that, and then this connector will peg in up here like that. And now we're going to go down to the feet. So for the feet, we're going to grab pink and green and extend them, flip out the guns, flip out the baton. Actually, we'll leave the baton folded up for right now. Now, turn over to gold, and these pegs will peg into the wheels. And the pegs aren't that super snug, so just be aware of that. And the same thing happens to pink, like so. And we can leave the baton up or just leave it down, whatever you want. Now, back up to the chest. We're going to take red, and, well, for red, you can extend it, or you can leave it collapsed. The directions say to extend it, so that's what we'll do. He pegs in up top, and then, Pat 1 pegs in up there, and then Lupin red pegs into the chest. Okay. Now for the trains. Silver first. So the connectors are actually behind the wings. So there's a connector in and a connector out. So there is a connector here pointing towards the inside. So that will connect in, and then the wing will connect to there. And I like to do the wing first while getting this out of the way and then turning it. So you do push the wing down a little bit, very gently, peg that on, and it's actually a lot harder to do than you might think, and then fold it and peg it in. And then with gold, we're going to do the same thing with a little added bonus. First we'll do this. So get the arm up and out of the way, peg it in there, and then line it up, snap it into place, and then fold the entire cannon structure down across the back. And pray that it doesn't make any noise. It might not. Then turn it, and the cannon will actually peg into place at the top of the back of Silver. And now that I've done that, I have to fix the feet. I'll be right back. Finally, we can take blue, fold up the wings, and point the Gatling gun forward, and he'll peg in up here, and then kind of extend him down. And then yellow, same thing, turn it, buzzsaw, fold the wings, connect, and fold it down. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Good, Cool, Kaiser, VSX. This is stupid. This is incredibly dumb. I know people are going to like this. I know. There are going to be people that love this. Great. I'm so happy you like it. I like clusters from Super Sentai. This is just bad. This is bad design. None of the pegs are that strong. And the overall feel of the thing is, it's hideous. I don't even know where else to go with ranting and raving. It's just bad. It's just plain old bad. Yes, there is some posability in the arms. I appreciate that, but most people's elbows aren't down by their hips. It's big, it's bulky, it has literal holes in it. It's not good, guys. Asian reviewer Wotafa has already confirmed that the feet do not peg in correctly at all, and they don't stay connected, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you already know this. The other thing is that, well, the actual official combined mode is supposed to have the baton extended. Like, it's supposed to have it extended, and the baton is stuck on my... It actually got stuck on my backdrop. This is just bad. Plain and simple. This is just bad. But there is some fun to be had here. Though not for the turntable, as you can hear. If you replace gold and silver with blue and yellow, you end up with an SDF1 mode. And what's even cooler, arguably, is that you can bend down the trains for an attack mode, like the SDF1. It's not exact, but I think that's actually pretty cool. Alright, folks, time to talk about the feet. They're bad. They're just bad. They don't clip in all that well, and just picking them up... Yep, I didn't do anything. I just picked the figure up. That was it. There's supposed to be a clip on the inside of the foot that clips onto these like trapezoidal pieces, but it doesn't work. It doesn't do it. There's nothing in the foot that does that. And a couple of other Asian reviewers and a couple of folks on the Ranger board have confirmed that. So I just clipped it in again. And all I'm doing is turning the figure, and the clips fall off. And pink and green fall off. They're not on there very tight, or they're not pegged in very tight at all. I get what the designers were trying to do here, but they were kind of given an impossible mission. Make a weapon out of trains that also turn into two different robots that also combine with a flying sled thing, 3 planes, and 3 cars. That's a tall order. And they didn't exactly pull it off all that well. There is one mode that is good, and that is the slash mode. X-Emperor slash. It's fine. X-Emperor Gunner, I don't like it, but if you like it, great. This mode, VSX, is terrible. It just is. If you like it, great. I'm happy that you like it. But its design is not good. There have been plenty of wacky, off-the-wall Super Sentai designs in the past couple of years. This one is my least favorite, and I think it's also the worst designed. The other ones that we've had over the years have been bonkers. They've just been silly. But none of them have been what I would consider garbage tier. And unfortunately, this is pretty garbage tier. And those freaking feet are unforgivable. There is something that changed in the design of the toys as a whole that really messed it up. Now, I was checking on Ranger Board earlier before I started doing this video review, or before I started filming, and there was a preview page released a couple of months ago for the trains that showed that they could connect, and they could do a couple of other little things that they just don't do in the final form. Also, the piece that forms the head in all of these modes was completely different. And I suspect that we're going to get, for a movie tie-in, that different piece. Maybe. Don't know for sure. I'm not working off any known insider information. I'm just suspecting that, because Bandai would do that kind of thing, because they're evil and stuff. Yeah, I don't know how Hasbro's going to do this. As you know, or may not know, Hasbro now owns Power Rangers whole cloth. I have no idea how they're going to incorporate this, or how they're going to make a toy out of this, because, oh boy. Well, we'll see. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video review. I picked this setup over at HobbyLink Japan. It's currently still available at the time of this recording. It might not be. I don't know. It might not be in a day or so. So if you're really interested in it, I would head over there and pick it up. So what do you folks think? Let me know down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you love the video review. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Hit that subscribe button. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I've got a brand new video review up. As always, I'm Baltmatrix, and I will catch you next time.